Hi, and welcome to Benchmark 1, Lesson 3, History of the Periodic Table. I'm actually going to split this lesson into two different videos. So right now you're watching part 1. In part 1, you need to answer the warm-up question. And this is a total guess before you start this lesson. Make a guess as to why you think the periodic table is shaped the way it is. If you haven't taken a look at the periodic table lately, take a look. It is not a perfect rectangle. It has different shapes, columns, rows. Make a guess right now why you think it is organized or shaped in that way. I'm going to use the slides for a little bit of this part 1 of lesson 3. Here's the warm-up we just discussed. And the purpose of this lesson is to be able to give a brief description of the history of the periodic table. Now, I'm not going to do a lot of teaching in this video. I actually am going to direct you to a different video. But I happen to love the periodic table. And when I teach this in class, there's so many things that I want to say about the periodic table. I could really teach for days. It's an awesome tool. I love how it's organized. But right now, you probably have no idea just how much information is beautifully and logically stored within each row and column of the table. But I guarantee that you will very soon find out just what kind of information is there. And it's a tool that you are going to need to use as you go through high school and college in chemistry classes. So I happen to love this particular crash course video. It's 11 minutes long. You will need to watch it after you listen to this video. And it is on the history and organization of the periodic table. Now, I highly suggest taking notes. It's optional, but it might help you with today's assignment and activity, which is a journal. And it is going to ask you to recall who the father of the periodic table was. So that would be the person who basically invented or came up with the modern periodic table, and how the heck this person was able to do that. Okay, so it's very important that as soon as you watch this video, you go in and answer the journal in Echo. So I'm going to show you where the journal in Echo is. Okay, it's called Benchmark 1, Lesson 3, History of the Periodic Table Journal. And it says the periodic table was developed by a guy named Dmitry Mendeleev. How the heck did old Dmitry know that some of the elements existed that hadn't yet been discovered? How did he make the periodic table for elements that no one had ever seen? So this is a writing activity. I'm looking for a few complete sentences. I'm checking your spelling and grammar, and your answer needs to be correct. So if you'd like to type this in a Google Doc, then you click New Post, and you can turn that in. Okay, so this concludes part 1 of lesson 3. The second part in the second video is going to consist of me discussing the assignment for the giant class periodic table. And I really need a separate video to do that. And we will do that in the second class period. So if you're waiting for that to begin, I'm going to direct you to your periodic table coloring sheets if you still have them, or the PhET lab from lesson 2 on building atoms. So make sure you check back. Part 2's video will be in the next class period where we talk about the class periodic table. See you then.